Hey ManCavians, this is Bob from DaBob's N-Scale ManCave, and today is part 3 of this White Pass Yukon bridge build. Today is staining day, and we are staining this whole thing as a wood cantilever bridge. Even though they probably don't exist in the real world, they do in my imaginary world. And it's not really prototypical, it's not typically freelance, it's sort of proto-lancing. That's the word, proto-lancing. So let's get right down to the process of staining this wood bridge, and hope you enjoy it. Come on, let's go take a look and start right now. I'm using leather dye, Phoebings. This is dark brown, and I also have the United States Marine Corps black. I'm going to mix both of these together to make a color with isopropyl alcohol, and test a few pieces in there just to make sure it's the right color. And once you get the right consistency, I used just one of those acid brushes. I also got a drip tray, which is a paint tray. And I'm going to start on the bottom of the bridge, actually the top of the bridge, because this whole thing's upside down. So as you can tell, I am starting to work on this. I've sped it up for you so you don't have to endure hours and hours of staining video. But as you can see, I'm just working on the sides there on the top. And I was thinking I just wanted to try and do just the top if I could do it, but stain gets in places and it starts spreading, and you might as well just stain the whole thing at this point. And you can see a little bit more detail how it's staining the wood with that leather dye, and it looks really, really nice. I got a good mixture of it. It's mostly the dark brown with a little bit of the black in there, and I wanted sort of a reddish, dark reddish kind of tint, and that's kind of what you got with the dark brown. Now I flipped it over, and you can tell I've already gone and did some of the structure underneath the bridge. I said, I got to do it, and so I decided working on top of the bridge and trying to get as much liquid onto that wood as you can. And so it actually dripped down onto some other pieces that didn't get stained. And but I really didn't get a lot of drips during this process because it pretty much stuck to the wood real nice. Some of the hard parts is getting inside there, and now I got to keep on working with the rest of the bridge. It looks pretty good right now. And I switched to this bottle. I was able to get a bottle that I could seal, so I could put all my stain in there and keep it from drying out if I was done for the night. And so, as you can tell, you put a lot of drippy stain on there, and it really helped go a little bit faster. As you can tell, it went pretty quick. I pretty much started, usually on all of these, on this portion of it because I wanted that to stand out, and it made it look like I was getting something done a little bit faster. But yeah, you can definitely tell how long this takes because I've sped this thing up like 500%. So yeah, it takes quite a bit of time to get all these details in there because you're constantly seeing something that needs some stain. And a little close up there. And as you can see, I'm sticking that brush. It's basically an acid brush. You're sticking it right down inside all these places, trying to work around the wood without breaking something off. And a couple times you did get something a little loose, but you just glue it right back on. And start working on all these angles. You got to rotate this bridge all over the place, trying to get it all covered. And it's not easy, that's for sure. But it's starting to come along looking really nice right now as the thing keeps getting darker and darker. We are getting close to almost being done. Oh man, I still found more spots to get stained. You know, you gotta keep getting your brush in there and finding it from every point of view that you can. That's why it's best to soak them prior to assembly. And as you can see, I'm pretty much done with 4 of these. I've got 1 left, and it's right there. Ta-da! I got the whole bridge stained, and this is what it looks like. I even had to go over it a few other times when I found more pieces that didn't quite stain right, but it looks great right now. Stay tuned for part 4. I hope you enjoyed the staining of this large bridge. It took quite a while to get the stain on there, all those little nooks and crannies, and I didn't get all the pieces covered with stain, but I hope I got most of the stuff that you see, from my perspective anyway, all covered up. The next step, however, is I gotta put it somewhere. I have to mount it on a table, on a board, put a backdrop in, all those kind of things. So what we're gonna do next, you gotta mount it, you gotta put it on something, and I gotta get it up there on the wall. So if you like what you saw, leave a comment down below, ring that bell over here, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and you'll get notified of when the next part comes out, or some other video that I put out. So next time, ManCavians, happy model railroading. Stay off those tracks. Bye.